Dan Allis here, West Ham Fan TV outside Sellers Park, Crystal Palace 4, West Ham 3. I'm here with Jamie from Copper 90. Mate, how'd you sum that up? Shambles.
Mate, I mean, first of all, it's a disappointing performance. You know, when you score 3 goals away from home, you expect to win a game, but defensively, we just weren't good enough, relying too much on set pieces, not good enough for the ball in the midfield. And it's just like hopeless going up top a lot of the times. You know, you'd think, if you look at it wider picture, you think 3 goals away from home, we must have performed well, but I think we got 3 goals because Palace can't defend set pieces, mate. So disappointing. I think our focus has to be on just trying to stay in the league as much as we can, but just putting everything into Europe, you know.
Well, this is the thing, innit, now, because, you know, we're 34 points. Other teams have got a game on us. We've got a game in hand against City, but you write that off. But now, I mean, how do we try and focus now? 2 fronts, like you said, we've got Man City. Say we don't get anything there. We've got Man United at home next. And if we don't win that, mate, we're looking bang in trouble, and our European hopes could be, you know, up in smoke.
Well, that's it, mate. Like you look at the teams left in the Conference League and the level of that opposition. We're not the best in Europe, don't get me wrong, but you look at the level of the competition, we have to be winning that. There's no excuse not to. And it's unlikely that you go into a Man City game and expect to win anything, especially with Erling Haaland and his pomp. Man United is winnable. They're get-atable, you know, but just try. I would just say we just need to coast out for the rest of the season. We built ourselves a little bit of buffer. Thankfully, before today, we had a game in hand. So we got a little bit of a buffer above the relegation zone. Just try and, you know, limp over the line before the end of the season.
What did you make of the substitutions today? Because there's been a few fans contentious about the choice of who comes. Obviously, the Paqueta substitution got booed by the fans and people were singing his name. I mean, it was a bit of controversy on the subs.
Well, I mean, in general, I looked at the starting lineup today, and I've been one that's been flying the flag for Fornals to get more game time. He's one of my favourite players, but, like, you know, he just didn't perform. I think rightfully so. A lot of people were saying, why was Ben Rama nowhere near that starting lineup? And then he came on and didn't do enough. You know, he wasn't good enough. You know, it's difficult because, you know, David Moyes makes those subs. If we come away winning the game today, it's a masterstroke, you know. But unfortunately, the subs that he made at half-time, you know, leaving people like Soucek on the, you know, in the midfield, it's difficult. You've got a super technical side in South London. When the fans get on top of you, they get on top of you. The players are all super technical and they'll pass the ball around you like you're not there. And that's something that's just not in Soucek's wheelhouse. He can get up on a set piece and, you know, put himself about and be physical. But when it comes to getting the ball on the ground, Declan Rice has got to carry him, you know, and it's hard.
And, you know, obviously I don't want to make it an excuse because we were poor today, but there was a bit of contention around the penalty. I haven't got a chance to look at it back, but we're getting messages, people saying it weren't a penalty, it was a dive, he went down easy. I mean, I don't know if you got a good look at it.
I haven't had a good look at it, mate, I'll be honest with you, but I think, you know, when you see things go out of VAR now, you just want to see consistency. You know, I go back to the midweek, you know, and the Thiago incident didn't get given us a penalty. But then, you know, we did a similar thing against Chelsea where Soucek stopped it with his hand and they didn't get a penalty, and now that one's getting it. You know, I just want to see consistency in VAR, and I don't know if it is there. I haven't seen this decision, but no, likely, you know, it's going to piss me off.
Yeah, that's it. And now we're in a situation where we have to stay up and get, you know, win this Conference League. Yeah. Can you see both happening? Do you think we've got a good chance, or is it slipping?
I generally don't know if this is like false hope or whatever. You know, I think every West Ham fan is guilty of that. But I think we'll stay up, and I think we'll actually get to the final this year. But you know, it's just whether the players can deal with it.
We are lucky that we've got a few teams below us that are really bad, so that might be it.
That's it, mate. But I think for a large portion of the year, there's been teams that weren't worse than us, and that's why we're in the position that we're in. But you know, you look at over the last like 4 or 5 weeks, I think people like Paqueta are really starting to perform, and the players that David Moyes brought in are starting to actually perform to the level that they were expected. And we've picked up a few results here and there, but you know, midweek was disappointing. I think we were unlucky today. Again, disappointing performance. Ultimately, we scored 3 away from home. There's positives to take in that. I think we just got to go into this Man City games with you know, an open mind, you know?
Yeah. And before I let you go, obviously, you got a podcast coming up on the weekend. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so I work for Copper 90, currently filming a show called When It Stays On, going around Europe creating a perfect football weekend. But I also run a podcast called We Talk Football Podcast. Nicky's been on there before. Big West Ham fan, my mate's a Chelsea fan, so we're constantly butting horses over who's the worst team in London currently, so yeah.
I really wanted to finish above them, but that might be a stretch too far now. We was gaining on them, and that would have That would have been a little sweetener finishing above Chelsea.
I can hear all the Crystal Palace fans. They're more excited about being above Chelsea than they are winning 4-3. So that says it all, mate.
Yeah, exactly. But now, Jamie, listen, best of luck. Everyone check that out. Thank you very much, mate.